Hey, Kamara, how are you? I'm gonna give it a minute or two. I won't be on here long. Just want to talk about our investigation and a few other things. So, excuse me. I may need more coffee. But, you know what? Now maybe you can hear me. I forgot I had my headset. Can you hear me now? Let's make sure this is right. Yep. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hang on just 1 second here. Oh, okay. So now I've got it. All right. So here we are, Facebook Live. I'm Scott with J&S Go Investigate. How's everybody doing tonight? Just wanted to have a quick touch base and talk about our investigation we did at the Fairfield County Infirmary on Sunday, just last Sunday, and talk about the future. All kinds of good stuff. It won't take long. I don't plan on being here more than 30 minutes unless there's a lot of questions or I just go off on a tangent, which I'm guilty of doing. So, if you watched our Facebook Live videos, we caught something pretty cool. As you've heard me talk about before, I don't tend to catch a lot of evidence the first time through. I mean, like real obvious wow stuff. Usually it's you got to go back through video and things like that and take a look at it and review it, review EVPs, and try to find stuff that is compelling. So the video that we did, the Facebook video, I think it was about 23 minutes into it, you'll see that Jen and I were up, I believe it was on the 3rd floor. And again, first of all, Fairfield County Infirmary, very cool place, very cool. Up in Lancaster, Ohio. It's about 2 hours north of Cincinnati. But yeah, it's deceivingly, when you pull up on it, you're like, okay, I mean, it's an older building, like I've talked about before, it was built in the 1800s. It's not huge on the outside by any stretch, but when you get in there, it's like a maze of rooms. I think I stopped counting around 50 or 60 rooms and just gave up. And it's real easy to get lost. I mean, the place looks very similar on the different floors, but just very cool. Just we had some various activity with ourselves and the other teams, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But yeah, just highly recommend checking that place out. Adam Kimmel runs it. He also has the Madison Seminary. And Adam, if you're watching or you watch this, you're doing a hell of a job up there, brother. Very cool. A lot of these buildings we go into are kind of decrepit and falling down. I mean, they're older and stuff like that. He's done a great job cleaning it up, making it inviting but also creepy at the same time. So that was a pleasant surprise. Didn't need to wear respirators and things like that, concerned about dust and things like that. I mean, maybe if you got on the lower levels, you might have needed to, but there's been some buildings you walk into and it's just right away. If you've got asthma or any kind of allergies, man, it just hits you. So very cool. Again, Adam Kimmel, you and your team, man, did a great job. I wish I remembered the gentleman and the lady's name that kind of did the little tour for us, your host. They did great. I really appreciate them being so welcoming. Pretty much we had free reign of that place. I think we got there around 5. Maybe I think I started live feeds around 7:30, and we had to take off a little bit early. Jenna's neck was bothering her. She had neck surgery a while ago, and occasionally that gets to her. Especially drive 2 hours in a car. Sometimes that can be a problem. Plus, sometimes it's just some of the stuff that she can experience can impact her. So I think it was around 12:30 when then we had to tap out. So I know the other teams that hung around there for a bit longer. So hopefully check out their feeds, see what they got. But what was cool is a couple things. The first was my flashy ball thingy here. So this is of all the fancy all the fancy gear that paranormal investigators take, whether it's the ghost boxes or the dowsing rods or the EVP recorders or video cameras and night vision and laser grids. This right here, I'll put it closer. This is a cat toy. All it does, as you can see, it's got a switch on the top of it. So when it's not activated, it doesn't do anything. Jokingly, this is kind of, Jenna bought this for me as a gag gift. And it surprisingly has been a great tool for triggering stuff. It's almost been kind of a joke when we go out with ghost hunting, and some of the teams that pull this out, they kind of laugh and they go, "There's Scott with his flashy balls," and it kind of works. And I can't take total credit for this. Mike G from the Wraith Chasers had one of these at one of the things we went to, and it was kind of a running joke. I don't think he called his flashy ball, so I'll take credit for that. But as far as this device, again, it's like a cat toy you can get at any pet store, but it has a little button on top that you activate, and see how it's flashing, so hence my flashy balls. And it will stop here in a minute. And then what triggers it is vibrations, things touch it, things like that. So, like I said, I put this, cat balls, absolutely. How you doing, Patience? So we were on the floor. Jenna had just was doing a ghost box experiment with our ink box that I had walked into, and clumsy me, she had her millimeter on the floor, and I walked right into it, which happens a lot. Sometimes I forget where I'm at when I'm on camera, and I just I'm like a bull in a china shop. So kind of broke her concentration, if you will. So after she scolded me for that, we decided to go into the next room over. She had sensed something had kind of drawn her in there, and there was a closet, and opened the door up. We had put up, we have these little lights. They're little, we call them cloud lights, but they're kind of the same concept where if they feel vibrations, they'll light up. And you can set the sensitivity, and usually we set it kind of high. We usually place them around the room, more as trigger objects, but sometimes, things we'll try to get things to touch them and stuff like that. So to kind of paint the picture, there's the closet was in front of us. We probably, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 feet from the closet. We had a millimeter in there, and we put this ball in there, and just to kind of point, the floor's level in there. There wasn't any boards that were bowed or anything like that would cause something to roll. I kind of checked all that out. I even went back afterwards and kind of vetted it again, because I told Jenna, I said, I'm not leaving here until I can figure out what did that. Fortunately, I did leave there without figuring it out. So we set up all that. Like I said, we had the proximity things, one to our left and one to our right. So the idea is that vibrations and things like that, if that happens, then we can kind of rule out some things if those get triggered and this gets triggered, that maybe it was somebody stepping or something like that. Jen and I were the only ones in that room. I'm pretty sure we were the only ones on that floor at the time. That place is pretty solid. And just a second here. So we put the ball in there, and kind of was talking to it. I think I said hi. I think I was even joking around. Might have been you, Patience. I was joking around that I felt like I was in a first-person shooter game where all you see is my hand, and people are telling me to go left and right and stuff like that. So I kind of pointed at the closet, kind of like doing a gun, like if I was in a video game. And then I asked whatever it was to give it us a sign. Asked it if it was scared, and then I said, "Are you scared of my beard?" And then, like, no sooner did it do that, this ball lit up and rolled like about that much of a turn. So what is that, about half a turn? So imagine sitting here like this. It's quiet. I said, "Is it my beard?" And here it is on the floor, and it went. It's not gonna stop. There it goes, and it went, whoop, and triggered. Now, there's no vent inside that closet. There's no draft. Like I said, we had the millimeter going. That, I don't think at the time triggered. I have to go back and look at the video. I'm pretty sure it stated in zeros. And So yeah, and if you heard me on camera, I pretty much cussed like a sailor because yeah, I got excited. So I said the bad word. So I had to put money in a swear jar, but it was worth it. So anyways, that's pretty cool. Again, was it a ghost? Maybe, I don't know. But typically that kind of stuff, um, I can usually debunk. We had a pretty good one time where there was an EVP going on when there's a group of us, and played it back and kept hearing this god awful growling noise. And was like, "What is that? What kind of thing is that?" And played it back, and even Jenna's listening. She's like, "What is that?" And we were all like, "Man, that sounds demonic." And then come to find out, it was it was the guy's leather jacket that he had on. So it was a very cold room, and as he moved his arm, it made this crackling noise, and the crackling noise came through his recorder, and that's what it was. So we were like, "Oh man!" So I mean, you kind of bummed. You're kind of bummed that it wasn't something cooler than that. But then again, it's kind of like, well, that's cool. At least we were able to debunk it. This I couldn't. Like I said, if you see me on the video afterwards, I'm jumping up and down next to it, trying to get the thing to go off. And the proximity, our cloud lights are going off. So I know my weight and vibrations is triggering it, and that ball would not move. It would not roll. So yeah, I don't know. Gravity well, spirit, something in between. I don't know, but it was cool. So I posted the video out there. If you go out to our site, you'll see it. I think it's under Fairfield County Infirmary Part One. Um, Posted it to some of the groups because I'm curious. I mean, I'd love for people. I'm sure there's going to be naysayers, and by all means, that are going to be like, oh no, it was probably this, and it could very well be. I mean, again, it happened one time. What would be cool is to go back and see if you could do it again. Now, if you can do it again, that could play two different ways. That could be like, oh, well, there's a presence, or there's some kind of physical scenario that's triggering that. Maybe who knows. But next time we go, I'm planning on trying to do a few more experiments there and see if I can get it to happen again with a little bit better control. And maybe I won't cuss as much. So there was that. Um, and then we did some later in the night. We as a group of us, we went into, I guess, the funeral parlor. So there used to be a funeral. They used to have the wakes and the visitations in the parlor, and we were all sitting in there, and we had Courtney, and Jenna. So Courtney's kind of a psychic medium. She gets the first time really working with her, and she's more of like physical, like when she picks up on things, sometimes it can actually give her like nausea. She can start coughing, things like that. So like these things physically manifest through her, which is different. Because at first I was like, oh God, is she dying? Because she's over here coughing and gagging. She's like, no, this is part of the process. Uh-oh. So I'm like, okay, get you an inhaler. Yeah, Dory therapy night. You're right. I don't think we need to talk about that anymore. That was the special bonus material. We'll cut out the movie version. But for those of you that missed that, I kind of revealed to the group what kind of got me into the paranormal stuff. I kind of revealed that I was a little bit of a problem child growing up, and I revealed that my mother um, was a hard ass, fair, but she had kind of a sick sense of humor, which apparently has rubbed off on me. So, anyways, maybe someday we'll talk more about that. I'm sure she'd get a kick out of that if knew that I was telling these stories. Um, so yeah, flashy ball. You know, Jenna's got her ink box that she loves, and apparently I've got a flashy ball that works for me. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Also, we are probably going to go back to I say probably. I think we've kind of already confirmed it. I guess it's safe to say Fairfield Infirmary, Thursday, December the 17th. We were invited back. So I think Jenna and I are going to go up there and do another investigation. Um, some of, I believe, Adam's staff, they do a lot. They have volunteers up there, and like I said, they've done a great job. Are they're going to be up there, they're gonna do like kind of a Christmas thing. I think they're gonna play some Christmas music and stuff, which might be a great trigger object, honestly, given that this place used to be a poor house and it could trigger. Exactly, you do not always need high tech. A lot of times it's just what you got in your eyes and your ears and whatever else. So, um, but I wish Dory you would have said something sooner before I spent so much money on things, because I mean $3 flashy ball versus the hundreds of dollars and other things that we've spent. You know, who would have thought? Everybody's out there selling us all these wares, and I'm just gonna. I mean, I could start my own line of flashy balls. Hmm, that's what I need. I need to get somebody to 3D print some flashy balls. If I only knew somebody that could do a 3D print, I don't know. Wonder who that would be. Anyways, um, where was I talking about? You got me off target there. Anyways, um, so yeah, flashy ball. Did that. Oh, so going back to we were all in the parlor. Um, Ghost Box was running. Was picking up some stuff. I think they keep talking about like a tall man, tall hat, kind of like the Abe Lincoln stovetop hat, dark figure, that kind of stuff. And then there was this smell. It was like a lavender citrus. It kind of smelled like an air freshener, like a misty air freshener kicked in. And we all, it was at first, I mean, literally all of us thought that there must be some kind of air freshener on a timer in there. And again, Adam, if you listen to this, or any of your folks watch this, if you do have something like that, please let me know, because I looked all over in that room. I mean, I looked above the doors, I looked in closets, I looked behind chairs, trying to find anything that was an air freshener, anything that make that smell. But it literally triggered, and it went around the room, and we all caught it twice, and it was very distinct. It was like almost like a lavendery citrus thing. I mean, it literally smelled like some kind of Febreze type stuff. Um, so again, that could just be a very well hidden air freshener. But again, like I said, I looked in all the outlets, looked in all the closets, walked around, looked behind furniture, and could not find the source of that smell. And we could smell, you could kind of like feel it come into the room. So it was kind of obvious where the source might be, and then it kind of went on through. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, you're right, Dory. He will be. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what I got. So we're going to go back to Fairfield County Infirmary December 17th, Thursday. I believe I got the date right. Patience, if you're on here, you can keep me honest. So we're going to go back there and try to get a little bit deeper, because we really just scratched the surface. I mean, I think Jenna and I only maybe hit 1.5 floors of that floors. And there's a Potter's Cemetery back there. There's the morgue that I briefly walked through, but didn't do any kind of experiments or anything like that. Um, we spent some time in one of the rooms that had like the jail door. Um, but other than that, yeah, there's a lot going on there, and Jenna felt that it was definitely we wanted to revisit that. So we got invited back, and we're gonna go. So I'll let you guys know more about that when that happens. And then time is it? Okay, I'm good on time. I talk a lot faster than I thought. Maybe I should slow down. Um, what else did I have on the agenda? Like I actually have an agenda. What do you guys have on the agenda? Oh, by the way, Dory, I wanted to, since you're on here, I wasn't sure if you were going to make it or not. I want to give a shout out to Dory. Um, we've known Dory for a while, and some of the other teams we worked with and stuff, and she's just like a super trooper. Um, she's always been very helpful, very supportive. She does a lot of the moderation for a lot of the different paranormal groups. I'm sure a lot of you guys know her, but she goes out of her way to help us. I mean, she's constantly putting links up for us and stuff. So um, you are. We thank you very much. Um, yeah, Jen and I both very much appreciate your support, and we thank you for all that. It's been very helpful being kind of the upstart newcomers. We're still trying to build our page and our following and stuff like that, and we definitely are seeing an uptick. Um, so we appreciate all of you that are coming on board with us and seeing some of the stuff we're having to offer. We hope it's something a little bit different. Um, I told Jenna, I said, and this is maybe showing our age, or if you're familiar with HDTV, There's a show, I think it's called Flip It or something, called with the Chip and Joanna Gaines. I always told her, I said, let's be the Chip and Joanna Gaines of paranormal, um, where we could kind of go back and forth and bicker and be like the grumpy married couple. And it kind of seems like it's working that way. Um, so what we lack in maybe tech savvy and drama. Um, you know, although I mean I can do a pretty good Zach Bagans. What? You know, is it demons? But you know, I am who I am. I like to crack jokes. I'm very much an 80s child, so unfortunately I'm getting to the age where a lot of my quotes, those young folks don't seem to get them anymore. So that's that. You feel really old when you're quoting movies that or what you grew up on and love, and kids are like, "Oh, you mean the one that was the remake that was made in 2015?" And you're just like, "God, kill me now." But anyways, those damn millennials. I'm kidding. I love millennials. They're gonna at some point. There's gonna be a millennial that's gonna need to take care of me when I get older, so I have to be nice. It's jokingly Jenna and I when we were talking to our kids, and I was like, you millennials, blah blah blah, this, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, and whatever, and you're basically you're the cause of the world's problems, and you're not willing to take accountability, and shame on me. One of my millennial children basically looked at me and said, "Well, you guys, your generation was the one that raised us." And it was like, touche, child, touche. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Dory. I appreciate you doing that. So yeah. So primarily right now we're doing everything on Facebook Live, as our streaming platform, and that's been going great. Obviously, people have been liking, sharing, following. Love that. We're going to try to do more on YouTube. We just got to build more of a subscriber base. The first thing is we got to get up to 100 subscribers just to be able to change the link, because I want it to be cool and be YouTube / Jenna and Scott Investigate. And unfortunately, you can't do that. You got to get some cryptic URL until you have 100 people. I guess they want to see that you're legit. And then from there, then we'll just see what happens. Be cool to get 1,000 so we could start doing some of the live stuff via mobile. I think you can do live if you're doing it from a desktop, but that doesn't really work well when you're out traveling, when you're trying to use a phone and things like that. Um, but yeah, that's really all I got. Oh, so we got like 7 more minutes, I think. So the one thing I do is I don't usually, if you ever hear me praise a vendor or a person or something like that, I don't I don't get paid for that. I don't get free stuff, things like that. At least I don't yet. Hint, hint. Um, but if that time ever comes, then I will also put a disclaimer that says, "Hey, I got paid to say this is great," or "I got this for free." But you saw in the video we had the boombox, which is it's made by Supernatural Inc. Supernatural space INK Inc. I think Facebook, if you just look up Supernatural Inc., you'll find it. But otherwise, it's Supernatural Inc. Paranormal, and it is run by the husband and wife team, Katie Stafford and his wife Katie. And because behind every great man is a woman rolling her eyes. And so Katie's a great guy. He's the mad scientist inventor. If you followed Ghost of Morgan City, the show on Travel Channel, you've seen him. So he's the one that kind of comes up with the ideas, and then Katie kind of keeps him on the path to get it done. So he built the ink boxes, and Jenna really likes that. And I wouldn't praise it if we didn't like it. Like I said, we didn't get a discount on it. We paid full price for it, and it was money well spent. I mean, we've used a lot of ghost box type stuff, or ghost radios, whatever you want to call them, and that's by far been the favorite. I kind of joke, 'cause I've got bad humor, that I like that it's a boombox because then in the middle of a session you're trying to call it ghost, and then you can start doing electric boogaloo and go into your breakdancing moves, because I mean, what ghost isn't going to go, what the hell is this guy doing? If that's even a thing. Or maybe maybe there's some dead rappers. Maybe Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. are hanging out, and they're like, awesome, this guy's got some moves. Um, so yeah. Anyways, what I'm getting to is Katie's going to be live at 8 o'clock, I think, and he's doing some kind of sale. I think it costs to get on it. It's like $1. Um, you can't even buy a cup of coffee for $1 or a stick of gum anymore. And don't let him tell you I told you this, but he's kind of worth $1. Um, I don't want it to go to his head, but at 8 o'clock on his page, they're doing like a secret sale that you buy in. There it goes. Thank you, Dory. Um, if you guys are interested in any of the gear that you saw, um, especially the ink boxes, I believe he's got some of those. He's got some smaller stuff too. They call them the nanocoms. That I think he's doing them a lot cheaper, a discounted rate. But again, in order to do that, you got to go to their page. I think you have to do it. I thought Katie said like if you do it with the phone, you can't see the link. You have to do it through a desktop. I don't know. I haven't. I'm a tech guy, but I don't get that deep into the weeds. But yeah, I'm gonna jump on there and see what he's got. I paid $1 to check it out. And again, like I said, I will go to the ends of the earth when and it's the same way in the bands I'm in and the gear that I use in my music stuff. If somebody builds something great or gives me some great gear, and they're easy to work with, I have no problems praising them. I don't usually do sponsorships based on money and things like that. I mean, well, admittedly, I'm not there yet. If somebody comes to me and says, "Hey Scott, we want you to use this beard oil and we'll pay this much money," you better believe I'm going to be on here. It's great. I love it. It makes my skin and my beard so soft. But take that with a grain of salt. And usually you'll know. You'll know if that's what it is. Um, but that's really all I got. Again, thanks for watching. I'm kind of digging the fact I used to kind of just do improv Facebook lives, and sometimes people, by the time they saw it or they saw the notification. So I've been kind of the idea of doing the schedule where I schedule it. So that seems to be working better. I see a lot more people on here. So hopefully that gives people enough notice. And I'm still playing around with timing. I told Jenna I'd like to start maybe doing this on a regular basis, but there are a lot of Facebook Live feeds going on, and I don't want to step on people's toes. But I also, I'm old. I don't like to stay up too late. Granted, we've got some people that are in other countries like the UK and stuff where this isn't late for them. But I feel like 7:30, 8 o'clock is a sweet spot because, then you can still do whatever you got to do. So I'm going to play around with that, but let me know what you guys think. We may start doing this more often as I got stuff to say. I mean, I could sit here and talk for weeks about nonsense. Um, and as you know, I'll talk all about my own life, and you guys can give me therapy too, so we can make this a mutual thing back and forth. Um, I'm not the best therapist, so if you got problems, I'll be like, oh, yeah. I don't normally have. I'm an engineer by trade, so I do like to fix stuff. Um, but yeah, people not good at fixing people. I can build stuff and I can duct tape with the best of them, but not so much people. Hey Courtney, sorry I didn't see you earlier. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I don't like her. So yeah, Courtney was I'm sorry, I'm still working on the whole chat and watching it as I go, and this thing's not really scrolling. Um, so things you learn as you do these more and more often. And if you hear this god awful noise in the background, I don't know if my mic's picking up. I've got a bulldog at my feet that's sleeping. So hang on, let me pause and see if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Anyways, that's my bulldog. That's Cookie. And then, but yeah. So we ride out. Look at that, 7:59. So if you guys are inclined and you feel like spending $1 to go see what Katie's got, um, it's going to a good cause. He puts all that money right back into his devices and what he's doing and stuff. And yeah, it's all. I'm going to head over there here at 8 o'clock. Again, it's Katie Stafford. His company Supernatural Inc. And I'm Scott with Jenna and Scott Investigates. Jenna's actually still working right now, or else she probably wouldn't be on camera. She's all about letting me do the talking, and then she does the real work. She's the real star of the show. I'm just kind of like the narrator. I'm like the anybody watch the Masked Singer? I'm like the host of the Masked Singer, and she's like one of the actual talent people. So Nick Cannon, That's who I am. She hears me in the other room, and she just said I was full of it. Love you. All right, guys. I'm gonna take off here, and thanks again. I appreciate everything. Appreciate you guys supporting us. And as we know more and as we do more investigations and things, stay on here, subscribe, follow, click buttons, bells, do moons. Oh yeah, do the what do we say, Dory? We're gonna make the moon shine. Um, and it's kind of an inside joke, maybe not so inside if you know guy, a buddy of ours, Eric Connor, who does Epic Paranormal. Um, very passionate about what he does. He's a trip to watch on if you watch him. He's always like fire in the chat, fire in the chat. So kind of as a joke for that, I told Dory we need some kind of catchphrase. Um, and somehow it started out as show us your moon, and then it was like, oh, that's probably not good. So I think we did settle on moonshine. So whatever. Hey, if it sticks, right? Okay, I'm off here, guys. Thanks again. Scott with Jenna and Scott Investigate, and I will see you later. Have a good one. Have a good evening.